This is ABC 15 News Taking Action.
Right now on ABC 15 News at 5, several big stories developing by the second. An up-and-coming UK music duo killed in a wrong-way crash here in Arizona. Some of the last people who saw them perform honoring their talent.
And a disgraced former representative. Brand new details into the background of David Stringer. That's where we begin our coverage tonight. Thanks for choosing ABC 15 News at 5. I'm Steve Irvin.
And I'm Katie Rammel. Our crew's combing through all the documents alleging former state representative David Stringer paid children for sex acts in the 1980s.
Our ABC 15 investigators breaking down the details. Dave Biscobing kicks us off.
Yes, David Stringer resigned this week rather than face further investigation from a state ethics investigation, and now we know why. Investigators unearthed the police report from Stringer's 1983 arrest, and it's very disturbing. The handwritten Baltimore police report shows Stringer was arrested on 8 different sex charges. It's too graphic to give all of the specific details, but it alleges Stringer met 2 boys younger than 15 years old at a park and brought them to his apartment for oral sex. He paid the boys and continued to see at least one of them an additional 10 times and engaged in a variety of sex acts. Stringer was in his mid-30s at the time, and one of the boys was, in the words of the report, mentally defective. Records also appear to show Stringer was given probation and ordered to seek counseling. Other details about his sentence are unavailable because the case was expunged. Now, top lawmakers also released hundreds of pages of other documents from Stringer's ethics investigation. They show examples of alleged racist comments and complaints from Stringer's constituents about racist, disrespectful, and erratic behavior. In the newsroom, Dave Biscobing, ABC 15, Arizona.
Dave, thanks. Our ABC 15 investigator Melissa Blasius is live at the state capitol where reaction is pouring in tonight.
And Melissa, you just heard from lawmakers who work closely with him. What did they have to say?
Well, they are distressed, disgusted, and emotional about this at this point. And they are also concerned whether or not David Stringer acted inappropriately with any of the thousands of people he met as he was working as a public official. Now, less than an hour ago, we heard from State House Speaker Rusty Bowers and Minority Leader Charlene Fernandez. They were speaking out after releasing documents from the House Ethics Committee investigation on Representative David Stringer. That included the original police report that Dave mentioned detailing sex crimes against children. Speaker Bowers said that as soon as he read that report, he told Stringer to resign and leave the Capitol immediately.
This is very disturbing, and especially to us with the trust. And I want to maintain that trust in the integrity of this institution.
We need to hold ourselves to a higher level. I am proud to serve in this office and in this legislature, but it's really distressing today because I wonder what the public thinks about us.
And I did ask whether or not if former Representative David Stringer had been more forthcoming about what could be in that police report, if that would have made any difference. And the Speaker of the House basically said it would not have changed the fate of Stringer here. However, it would have all happened much more quickly. Reporting live at the state capitol, Melissa Blasius, ABC 15, Arizona.
Melissa, thank you. And as this story continues to develop, count on ABC 15 to follow it every step of the way. Get the latest updates on air, online, and on our free ABC 15 mobile app.
The images from this wrong-way crash, tough to see. 2 vehicles slamming into each other, bursting into flames early Wednesday morning on I-10 just outside of Centennial. Now we've learned some of the victims, part of an up-and-coming UK music duo on tour in the U.S. ABC 15's Justin Becerra live in Phoenix, where the band played what is now their last concert.
Yeah, good evening, Steve. That band that we're talking about is Hers, pretty much an up-and-coming band from the UK, and you can see outside here at the Rebel Lounge some of the fans starting to place flowers and balloons here, a lot of them just shocked that this duo is gone. I talked with a local concert photographer. He was here at the venue that night, and he kind of took an impromptu photo shoot of the duo. He never thought that those images that he captured would be the last. Split seconds captured of life on tour. Stephen and Auden make up the UK group Hers. The two had just wrapped up their show in Phoenix Tuesday night when these photos were taken. Justin Yee was the photographer.
I was trying to find a good spot and ended up seeing this wall over here and I was like, oh, that'd be like cool, like a bright color wall. So we ended up taking a couple portraits over there.
Before hopping into their van, they took one last photo, this Polaroid, then signed it. The photos were taken around 11:30. Just an hour and a half later, the two, along with their tour manager, Trevor, would be involved in this horrific head-on collision along Interstate 10. Both vehicles caught fire, their bodies so badly burned they couldn't be identified.
What really like kind of shook me up was, like the photos I got of them being, the last photos of them alive. And, it was a weird, like heavy feeling to like think of that.
Cell phone video shows Hers playing in Phoenix Tuesday night to a sold-out show. The band was just starting to pick up momentum, a growing fan base and media attention around the world. The Rebel Lounge in Phoenix says they frequently host up-and-coming groups. Tonight, the owners and staff are shocked this happened.
We're so used to being people's like first shows or first plays or their album release. It's never, I don't know if I've ever been part of someone's last show before. Just horrible.
So the other driver involved in that crash from California also died in that wreck. Another sad note about this story, Hers was on the last leg of their U.S. tour. They only had a couple of tour dates left here in the United States before heading home. We're live in Phoenix tonight. Justin Pizzera, ABC 15, Arizona.
Thank you, Justin. This is the same spot on I-10 where earlier this month a DPS trooper's car was smashed trying to stop another wrong-way driver who was most likely impaired. The trooper was sideswiped by a semi-truck, and that wrong-way driver, a woman from California, ended up crashing into the semi. Fortunately, in that case, there were no serious injuries.
Right now, several homes in Chandler being evacuated because of a hazmat situation. This is near Arizona Avenue in Queen Creek. That's where we find ABC 15's John Treeweiler live for us tonight. John, what happened out there?
Yeah, Katie, this is a very large scene. We're at Arizona Avenue and Ryan Road, but from Ryan to Queen Creek, it's all shut down. Let me point this scene out to you. You can take a live look here and see what we're dealing with. We've got upwards of 50 emergency apparatus on scene and hazmat teams from all over the valley dealing with this. This all happening before 1 o'clock this afternoon. That's when we're told a white box truck collided with another vehicle. Officers investigating that crash noticed that the white box truck was leaking some type of liquid and was smoking. That's when they discovered around 60 gallons of phosphorus in the back of that truck. One of those officers actually transported to the hospital for being exposed to that chemical, just as a precautionary matter to be evaluated. But because of the nature of this chemical and the quantity of it on scene, at least 6 houses at our last update have been evacuated out here. Now, hazmat teams tell us there is no immediate life-saving effort that needs to take place, so they've slowed down their operations just a little bit to determine exactly what type of chemical they have and what exactly they're dealing with. They're testing that and then figuring out a safe way to remove that chemical from this area. We expect them to be out here for quite some time. That driver of that white box truck, by the way, arrested on 2 unrelated warrants. We're live in Chandler. I'm John Treeweiler, ABC 15, Arizona.
Yeah, keep us updated on this, John. Thank you. Prosecutors call the accusations horrifying. Michelle Hobson facing a judge for the first time since being indicted on dozens of child abuse charges, accused of abusing her 7 adopted children to profit from a lucrative YouTube channel, pepper spraying or starving them if they refused to participate or forgot their lines. ABC 15's Cameron Pullen was there as she pleaded not guilty. But Cameron, the judge seemed to focus on another big issue during the arraignment.
While today's court appearance centered on her plea, the judge also took aim at Michelle Hobson's finances, wondering why the citizens of Pinal County are paying for her public defender, despite evidence showing that she received hundreds of thousands of dollars from her YouTube channel just last year. Hobson claimed to the court that she did not have any income, the judge quickly pointing out she listed $3,300 in expenses each month and demanded an answer on how she paid for it. Hobson told the judge she'd been receiving income through the YouTube channel, stating it was between $10,000 to $30,000 a month. She added that her accounts, though, had been frozen. Prosecutors quickly chimed in, claiming they could prove she'd received hundreds of thousands of dollars last year through the channel. They also spoke of evidence that showed Hobson and her her son had made a withdrawal of $100,000 from a joint bank account following her arrest.
We know that there was a 1099 from Google last year that showed roughly $300,000 that she had made. We know there are other sources of income that have come in as well.
Hobson is expected to be back in court on May 1st for a pre-trial conference. Now, we also expect her to provide a full financial picture to the court by then. I'm Cameron Polum, ABC 15 Arizona.
Valley fire crews busy responding to two different mountain rescues today. On the left, Phoenix Fire responding to South Mountain, helping a man who became lightheaded. He had to have an IV and be airlifted down. On the right, Phoenix Firebird called in to help a 17-year-old off Camelback after hurting his ankle. As the weather heats up, it will be more and more difficult to hit the trail. A lot of people planning to be outside this weekend, Amber.
Yeah, those temperatures are looking nice, especially in the morning. We'll see a few passing clouds overnight into tomorrow morning, then clearing skies about midday as we made up to 70 degrees by 10 o'clock in the morning. It's the late morning, early afternoon where that UV index will be peaking at 8 tomorrow. Very high on the scale, about 15 minutes to be outside before the burn starts to set in. And as we track it for you hour by hour, that key time frame between about 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. for prime time for those sunburns. Now, lots of sunshine through our weekend forecast, but that's not going to be the case next week. We're tracking cloudier changes, more breezes, and a change in those temperatures too. Your 7-day just minutes away.
Right now, the border battle's heating up with President Trump threatening to close the entire U.S.-Mexico border next week if Mexico doesn't stop illegal immigrants from crossing over. In a series of tweets, the president accused Democrats of supporting weak immigration laws. The last time the border was closed was during the Reagan administration and had big economic repercussions for both countries. Immigration experts say closing the border will have little impact on illegal crossings or drugs because smugglers just adapt. Coming up next on ABC 15 News at 5, a relaxing getaway ends with calls to the police. One couple speaking out after finding hidden cameras in their rental. The steps you can take to protect yourself.
Emails about your iTunes account, but they're not from Apple. Tonight, Joe lets you know how to tell the difference so you don't get scammed.
Plus, an Arizona teen taking her health fight to the state capitol, demanding changes to schools all across the state, and it's centered around microwaves.
We already know it's a problem, but it's clear it's happening more and more. Hidden cameras inside rental properties. A California couple went for a relaxing getaway and left feeling violated after finding a hidden camera inside a fake smoke detector right across from their bed.
If she's doing it, there's someone else actually out there doing it. I want people to know that. If you're gonna rent it out, look through the whole room, anything that looks suspicious.
Airbnb removed the host from its platform and refunded the couple. Their policy requires all hosts to disclose any cameras. Law enforcement experts recommending doing a check when you're at a hotel or rental property. There are also detectors you can buy that will alert you to recording devices.
Moving across Arizona, a big farewell ceremony for an Arizona Army National Guard unit deploying to the Middle East. There are about 50 soldiers in the 996 Medical Company Area Support Unit. And today they gathered with friends and family, had a pretty big send-off out there. We talked with one woman who tells us there are a lot of emotions surrounding her first deployment.
It's a little nerve-wracking sometimes when you think about some of the things, and then other times it's exciting. I'm actually new to this unit, so I've only been in this unit for 2 months, and it already feels like family. And I think it's all about who you go with, majority. You're doing the right cause, you're doing it for the right reasons, and you're going with the right people, so it makes it feel that much better.
We wish them well. Right now, about 1,500 Arizona National Guard soldiers and airmen are currently on active duty.
A Tucson teen fighting for change. 15-year-old Josephine Taylor was diagnosed 4 years ago with celiac disease, and the only treatment available, a strict gluten-free diet. Gluten is a protein found in wheat, barley, and rye. It's in countless food items, and if people with celiac consume gluten, they'll get sick, which is a problem at school. That's when Josephine got an idea, a designated gluten-free microwave at the school without the risk of cross-contamination for her and other students with celiac disease.
This isn't just about me, it's about all the celiac students, not even in our school, but all across Arizona, that getting one microwave in my school would make it possible for so many other students to get microwaves in their schools.
Josephine now taking her fight to the state capitol, working to add an amendment to an existing education bill to add celiac microwaves in every school.
Looking for some fun events this weekend? We've got you covered. The Tempe Festival of the Arts is happening all weekend long in downtown, right along Mill Avenue. There are different artists, live music, street performers, as well as food and drinks. It's going from 10 until 5:30 each day. It is free. Then tomorrow in Chandler, it's the Great American Barbecue and Beer Festival going on at Dr. A.J. Chandler Park from noon until 10 p.m. Tickets are $15 online. They're $20 at the door. And if you can't wait until tomorrow, it is movie night at Sun Devil Stadium. You can watch Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse for free. The Oscar winner for Best Animated Feature. The movie starts at 6:30. You do need to RSVP on the ASU 365 Community Union website.
Forks up for the ladies trying to make history. The ASU women's basketball team is in the Sweet 16 for the first time in 4 years. And now they're trying to make it somewhere they've never been, the Final Four. It'll be an uphill battle for the Devils, but it's a battle they say they're ready for.
This is something that we've been working for all year, starting in the summer and preseason, and but at the same time, like, we're not done yet. We're not just happy, and then this is the end of our season. We're still playing and still hungry.
The Sun Devils face top-seeded Mississippi State tonight in Portland. Tip-off is at 6. If they win, they'll play Oregon or South Dakota State on Sunday for a chance to make the Final Four.
So games to watch, festivals to go to, a lot going on this weekend. Does it seem like everything will cooperate?
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be so great. The only thing we have to watch out for is the air quality, because as the breezes back off, the air is going to be more stagnant. We got ozone health watches that'll kick in for the weekend. In the meantime, as we look live outside right now, the flag's whipping around a little bit in those breezes that have been picking up this afternoon. They're at 13 miles per hour here in Phoenix, but check out the spots out to the east. All of that red you see on the map from Show Low down into Safford. These sustained winds at 20 to 30 miles per hour this afternoon and starting to back off after sunset tonight. As we take you through the overnight hours, less than 10 miles per hour across the state wind-wise. But look at this. The wind direction shifts come tomorrow. Winds out of the north will be accelerating down the Colorado River Valley, just like you would if you were riding your bike downhill. And so places like Bullhead City, like Havasu City, Parker, Yuma, going to be very breezy, if not windy, throughout the day tomorrow. And again on Sunday, while the rest of the state sees generally light winds in the weekend forecast. Right now, 80 degrees here in Phoenix, humidity at just 9%. And again, those winds are out of the west at 13 miles per hour. It will stay breezy for the next couple of hours before those winds lighten up. 79 in play at 6 o'clock tonight. We'll ride out those 70s through 9, then drop into the 60s around 10. Overnight lows going down into the 50s all across the valley. And then tomorrow afternoon, a couple of degrees warmer than where we ended up today. 84 in Gilbert, Phoenix, and Avondale. 83 in Deer Valley and Scottsdale. 79 up in Cave Creek. These temperatures just a few degrees above the average of 80 for us. And we'll see temperatures in the low 80s out in Bullhead City and Lake Havasu City as well. Kingman hit 70 after a low of 39 overnight. We got freezes to track up at the Grand Canyon and in Flagstaff. Even Prescott getting down to that freezing point of 32 by sunrise tomorrow morning. 68 there tomorrow, 71 in Sedona, and 69 degrees in Payson. A beautiful day for the high country. And farther to the east, Show Low's going to top out at 63. So is Winslow. Heber at 60 tomorrow. Freezes in those spots overnight too. For southeastern Arizona, 80s in play for the Tucson metro area. Safford and Globe will actually be in the 70s tomorrow. Morning clouds in the forecast with clearing in the afternoon for those spots. We're going to start to see those high thin clouds come in to the valley overnight too, and they'll stick around through very early tomorrow morning before breaking away for the rest of the day. 84 for Saturday and Sunday, a gorgeous sunny day on Sunday. Then mostly cloudy for Monday and Tuesday. More clouds coming in. Temperatures continue to climb though, all the way up to 89 on Tuesday. Then we get another shot of cold air. Breezes and about a 5-degree drop into Wednesday, down to 84, just enough to keep us out of the 90s all next week.
Proof of a purchase she says she never made. Coming up, Joe lets you know about a new phishing scam involving iTunes.
And fear of invasive tests turning people away from potentially life-saving treatment. Now an Arizona company taking action with a new test.
What's going on here?
An iTunes receipt from Apple.
I saw where it said I had purchased a basketball app.
Proof of a purchase Patricia Wells says she never made. She clicks on the invoice.
It asked for my name and address, and then came the box that said your social security number.
Fortunately, she didn't give it to them, finally realizing what she was falling for, a phishing scam. Now, this is a real receipt from iTunes. One way to tell is that it shows your Apple ID and your current billing address.
All over there was little clues that I didn't pick up on right away.
Apple says its emails will never ask you for your social security number, mother's maiden name, full credit card number, or CCV code. The best way to avoid these scams, don't click on unknown emails, don't touch attachments. They could release viruses and worse into your electronics. Head to abc15.com/letjoeknow for more ways to verify your purchases from Apple. I'm investigator Joe Ducey. If you got a problem, let me know.
Tonight, a warning about a new type of phone scam where crooks take over your account. Here's how it works. Scammers contact the victim by phone or email. They pose as a customer service representative for your phone company, claiming your account has been compromised. And then using your contact information, they have a real verification code sent to the customer. Then they ask you to read it back. With your phone, your email, and that verification code, the scammer has all the information they need.
They change the password, then they can change all the functions in the account.
Police say check your accounts often and never give out an authorization code.
March is Colon Cancer Awareness Month. It's actually the third most common cancer in the U.S. and the second deadliest. But now there's new hope for improving those stats thanks to an Arizona company. Beacon Biomedical, based in Phoenix, created this new colon cancer blood test called B-Screened CRC, which checks for 3 blood proteins that show up in colon cancer cases. Beacon says it's 94% accurate. Right now, most insurance companies won't cover it. That's why Beacon says it'll file reimbursement claims for anyone who has to pay out of pocket. CBD, the naturally occurring compound, won't get you high like THC, but it's being touted as a potential cure-all for everything from anxiety to pain, depression, even acne. That's why Walgreens is entering the mix, announcing it will be making CBD products available at stores across the country. The company says the goal is to provide a wider range of well-being products.
Crimes against children. The allegations against David Stringer under wraps until today.
Of course, the question tonight, could there be more victims out there in these recent incidents? Our investigators continuing to dig into documents and the disturbing details that are coming out. The very latest for you at 6.
Plus, more problems at Valley Pumps, Fry's fuel centers without gas. So what happens to all your fuel points? What you need to know at 6.
Plus, straight out of the Jetsons, the future of flying on display in the Valley this weekend. Good flying weather at that.
The winds are looking light. That's good through the weekend. A little bit breezy out there now, but those winds lighten up for Saturday and Sunday. They'll be back next week, and just in time, those breezes helping to bring in some cooler air. So after 89 next Tuesday, we'll fall 5 degrees as those winds usher in that cooler air.
Bad. World News is next.